From the Cronkite studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
But these groups are spending the holiday protesting rather than celebrating our commander-in-chief.
Plus, an exclusive look at a new Smithsonian exhibit that explores a time when hundreds were sent to an Arizona internment camp in the 1940s.
And this disease outbreak is infecting and even killing some dogs. How to protect you and your furry friend from catching it.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Emma Lockhart.
And I'm Zach Pocklip. Thanks for joining us. Traditionally, President's Day is a federal holiday to celebrate our nation's presidents, past and present. But this year, people across the country are using this as a day of protest against President Donald Trump. While protests failed to materialize here in Arizona, that was not the case in Southern California. Reporter Lauren Negrete is live from the Cronkite News Los Angeles Bureau with a closer look.
The rally started originally as a Facebook event just shared amongst friends. However, it spread like wildfire throughout the internet, sparking additional protests in other major cities in the United States. In front of City Hall, hundreds of people flooded the entrance for the rally.
And then the fact that it kind of exploded was really cool, and they really all took it and ran with it and have made it about their individual local issues.
Heather Mason says the rally is designed to hold the Trump administration accountable, arguing the president doesn't represent the values of many Californians. No! Not hate! Values like equality and compassion, which William Gonzalez thinks are important.
I'm a veteran. He does not represent me. I want equality for everybody.
As long as we have to, we're going to be out here protesting every single day, every single weekend, every chance we get. We've got to keep him in line.
Now, this was a protest that really cut across demographics. All ages, races, sexual orientations were represented, linked in their animosity toward the current administration. Organizers say they reached their trending goal to get their hashtag #NotMyPresident trending on Twitter. Live in Los Angeles, Lauren Negrete, Cronkite News.
Arizona Senator John McCain is praising President Trump's new pick for National Security Advisor. In an announcement from Mar-a-Lago, Trump tapped Army Lieutenant General H.R. McMaster for the role.
General. Mr. President, thank you very much. I'd just like to say what a privilege it is to be able to continue serving our nation. I'm grateful to you for that opportunity.
Trump called McMaster a man of tremendous talent and tremendous experience. Trump says Keith Kellogg, who had been acting advisor following the ouster of Mike Flynn last week, will now serve as the National Security Council Chief of Staff.
Maricopa County Sheriff's Office has changed the policy on detaining those facing civil immigration offenses. Inmates will be released after the time period it takes to administer a release order under state law. Sheriff Paul Penzone spoke about the policy change Friday.
There have been courtesy holds in the past, which we are no longer going to be facilitating. So we will process individuals for release at the order of the court, and then ICE will have that opportunity once notified if they choose to continue to detain them in their own custody.
The Maricopa County Attorney's Office released a statement regarding the change, stating, quote, "This does not prevent any communications between county detention officials and ICE officials to notify ICE of a pending release and transfer custody at or within the time frame of releasing an individual from state-based detention."
Arizona's Secretary of State Michelle Reagan had a tough year last year, and she used those experiences as a lesson for other secretaries of state at a national gathering in Washington last week. Reagan said voting systems are safe, but elections officials need to be especially vigilant about hackers trying to get into electronic voting records.
There's people right now, I can guarantee you, trying to get in to the systems in all the states because they're chock full of data. And, whether it's used because they want to steal it or alter it or scare people, it's going to be a target. So we need to make sure we're just as savvy as they are.
A pro-marijuana group will not be silenced. They're working again to get recreational pot use on the ballot. Reporter Mia Mazlar was at the state capitol when the latest initiative was filed.
An Arizona group that wants to legalize marijuana went to the state capitol to try again. Safer Arizona filed an initiative to get the issue on the ballot next year.
We actually need to go beyond what these other states have done and get the real legalization in Arizona so people are not getting arrested. There's no more raids in people's homes, bringing a combat experience to your bedroom for growing a non-toxic medicinal flower bud.
Supporters say legalizing marijuana will make Arizonans safer because consumers, rather than cartels, will control distribution. Opponents warn it will hurt families.
The substance is not a benefit to our young people, especially. We have ASU in this town. It's the largest university in the country, and the studies show that when this stuff is legalized or decriminalized, the usage goes up.
Those backing the new initiative say Prop 205, which lost by less than 80,000 votes last year, had too many flaws. But Safer Arizona hopes to gain support for their new initiative. The group needs more than 150,000 valid signatures by July 2018.
If the group gathers enough signatures, this will be the third time Arizona votes on recreational marijuana use. Similar proposals were defeated in 2002 and 2016.
There's lots of different techniques going to events. We go to First Fridays a lot. There's the Gem and Jam Festival in Tucson. There's so many different kinds of things going on that we can send our volunteers to.
Wisniewski believes 2018 will be the year it makes it on the ballot and passes. In Phoenix, Mia Mazar, Cronkite News.
Safer Arizona says the initiative will repeal Arizona's prohibition statute. Those in jail for marijuana charges could be resentenced under the new laws.
Sunday marked the 75th anniversary of the executive order that led to the incarceration of Japanese Americans in internment camps during World War II. Reporter Anthony Marroquin visited a Smithsonian exhibit highlighting the period to talk to siblings whose families were relocated to a camp in Poston, Arizona.
I just remember my sister, Mitzi, being very sick.
Like most people, Mitzi and Seishi Oka don't have vivid memories of their childhood.
It was you.
But their childhood was unlike most. They spent 3 years of their lives in an internment camp.
My oldest sisters talked a lot about it.
In May of 1942, the Oka family was rounded up and brought to an internment camp in Poston, Arizona, as part of an executive order signed by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. 75 years later, they're looking back, reminiscing about a time when their father had to make art out of nothing.
The wires that were used for the bird feet and the legs, they were taken from screens.
This exhibition really explores a period in American history when war and fear and racial prejudice overtook the nation.
Jennifer Jones is the project curator for the Japanese Americans and World War II exhibit at the Smithsonian's American History Museum. She says it's important to remember times like these and that the artifacts help give us a window through which to do it.
And the artifacts really give you a sense of personal understanding.
But for the Okas, the exhibit is a chance to meditate on the mistakes we've made.
You know that righting a wrong, I don't know if a wrong can actually really be righted, but we can learn from that wrong.
A lesson, the Okas say, bears repeating. In Washington, D.C., Anthony Marroquin, Cronkite News.
The exhibit will run through February 19th, 2018. But if you want to learn more about the Oka's journey, visit our website at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Some educators spent their day off today at the state capitol.
Coming up next, what protesters in Phoenix had to say about education on President's Day.
Plus, studies show that students who speak more than one language have advantages in the classroom. We take a look at how babies here in the Valley are getting an early start at becoming bilingual.
I'm Scott Pelley, anchor and managing editor of the CBS Evening News. In our changing media landscape, it is crucial for journalism education to ensure a commitment to the truth, unbiased reporting, strong ethics, unwavering fairness, and above all else, accuracy. These are the hallmarks of ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. It's a place where students can innovate and transform the news industry while always upholding the values of the school's namesake. The Cronkite School at ASU, preparing the next generation for a stronger future of journalism.
Discover so much more at azpbs.org/schedule.
where it's easier than ever to find out what's on Arizona PBS. Access interactive digital and printable program guides, repeat times, and full episode descriptions. Watch program previews of best bets for the coming week. Search by title to find your favorite shows. You can even add programs to your calendar and get email reminders when they're about to start. It's easier than ever to find out what's on Arizona PBS. Discover so much more at azpbs.org/schedule. When you want to be more connected, friend us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Watch us online.
More and more parents are pushing for their kids to be fluent in more than one language. Reporter Veronica Acosta visited a class where nap time is getting cut short to get these babies working with a second language.
Parents at Bilingual Baby Time stressed how it's never too early for their children to familiarize themselves with the language they aren't around often. So they make it a point to be present at these classes where the goal is just that.
Good morning, good morning.
It's Bilingual Baby Time at the Palo Verde Library.
It's important for them to just start associating between what they hear at home and what they hear outside of their house.
Babies are immersed in both Spanish and English through songs, books, and a variety of toys during their time at the weekly class. Shakers and scarves like these are being used by librarians to get babies accustomed to hearing two different languages. But parents see the class as much more than playtime.
It helps them with developing speaking skills, as well as familiarizing themselves with colors, songs, and also they can interact with other kids.
Both moms want their kids to learn English and Spanish because they see the benefits of being bilingual.
I would like her to do it even if she doesn't need it in her job so that she can talk to other people, but that she can also have that much better opportunity to get those jobs if she has more languages.
Even though these babies have a while until they start talking, their parents are hopeful that they'll recognize both languages and eventually be fluent in them. Bilingual Baby Time classes are offered for babies up to 23 months old and are scheduled for Wednesday mornings at the Palo Verde Library. In the Broadcast Center, Veronica Acosta, Cronkite News.
Arizona is one of the least popular states for teachers. The Learning Policy Institute cites low salaries, low retention rates, and teacher shortages as some of the reasons for the low ranking. But Cronkite News reporter Cassidy McDonald shows us how students at Paradise Valley Community College want to support teachers here.
Last month marked the official launch for Club Ed's We Elevate EDU, a new teacher advocacy movement at Paradise Valley Community College.
When it comes down to it, our pipeline of teachers is just non-existent, and it's really nerve-wracking.
Kirk has been teaching at PVC for 12 years and says that she has seen a dramatic decrease in the amount of students pursuing teaching professions in the last few years.
More than ever, Arizona is in a teacher shortage crisis. We're talking literally in some sections going from 70 students down to 25 students.
Students in the education classes and Club Ed at PVCC often discuss hot topics in education, such as funding, teacher evaluations, teacher salaries, and special education.
It's a 7-day challenge that aims to admire, appreciate, and advocate for teachers and the teaching profession. It's exciting.
PVC student Matthew Loughlin says the club's 7-day challenge helps to inspire the nation's educators by encouraging community members to pursue goals like writing notes of appreciation, supporting educational fundraisers and events, and much more.
We also need to become politically engaged because the different bills that are at the legislature right now are really important.
The club is able to help community engagement through Elevate EDU's partnership with nonprofit organizations like Expect More Arizona, who aim to make education advocacy simpler for parents and community members.
So we have simple tools on our website to find out who your elected leaders are, who your legislators are. We make it a simple click through to send an email to them to let them know how much you really care about teaching and how important it is that we support them both with funding, with teacher pay.
Until we start paying teachers as professionals, we're not going to retain people that are good for children.
There are more than 2,100 vacant teacher positions in Arizona, according to a recent study. In North Phoenix, Cassidy McDonald, Cronkite News.
According to that study by the Arizona School Personnel Administrators Association, more than 1,000 teachers quit or resigned from their positions within the first 4 weeks of the school year.
Arizona teachers met at the Capitol today to rally against the passing of bills in the House and the Senate that would expand the state's school voucher program. Cronkite News reporter Joe Constantine met with the teachers to hear what they had to say.
Teachers from all over the state met on the Capitol lawn today, President's Day, to protest school voucher bills that they say would cut funding from public schools and give more to charter schools. Many gathered in opposition to the bills, including Arizona's Teacher of the Year, Chris Marsh.
Certainly have tried to put a face to it, and I've tried very, very hard to be the voice of all teachers and therefore the voice of students.
Today's rally is a call for legislators to open the floor to a public hearing prior to the budget proposals being introduced.
Because we know that education funding in Arizona needs to take some next steps. We need to talk about new revenue sources. We need to talk about how we invest in our schools for the long haul so that we don't continue to go from one crisis to the next.
Protesters at today's rally will do anything to make their voices heard, even if it costs them a postage stamp.
Although spending the day today protesting out here on the Capitol lawn, teachers are trying to reach House and Senate leaders in the old-fashioned way, sending postcards just like this one in my hand.
In the governor's State of the State address, Ducey emphasized the importance of funding public schools.
But when we do have available resources, like we do this year, the bulk of those dollars will go to public education. And our proposals will be responsible to make sure we can actually follow through on our word and our educators can rely on it.
Joe Thomas believes it'll be hard for the governor to fulfill his promises.
But he has such a small amount of extra money to put into education because we've cut taxes, and cut taxes.
Time will tell if the education budget increases and how that money is spent. At the state capitol in Phoenix, Joe Constantine, Cronkite News.
There is a bacterial disease infecting dogs in the Phoenix area.
Coming up on Cronkite News, we take a look at that illness and that is deadly to man's best friend and how to prevent it.
We have good news coming up on your 7-day forecast today, when the skies are going to clear and for how long, coming up next.
I think I finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting for this moment all my life now. All my dreams are coming true, yeah. I've been waiting for this moment. It's good to be alive right about now. Right about now.
Officially from 36, and he hooks it in. Arizona State wins. Keeping one deep, and it is caught. Jalen Strong. Do you believe it?
There are now more Mexican gray wolves roaming the American Southwest than ever since the federal government began reintroducing the predators nearly 2 decades ago. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service released a survey that showed at least 113 wolves are spread between southwestern New Mexico and southeast Arizona. The population is up from the 97 wolves that were documented the previous year. Officials say the numbers are encouraging, but that more work needs to be done to ensure the population grows by about 10% each year.
Maricopa County is dealing with an outbreak of a bacterial infection in dogs. 50 dogs were diagnosed with the potentially deadly disease in Fountain Hills and Scottsdale. 3 of those dogs died. Usually there are only 4 cases of leptospirosis in Maricopa County each year. Reporter Drew Marine learned vaccines are being made available to all worried pet owners.
By definition, leptospirosis is a bacterial disease that can lead to fever, vomiting, and even death. Not only does it affect dogs, but it can spread to humans too. After hearing about the outbreak in Maricopa County, many owners came to get their dogs vaccinated at the Arizona Animal Welfare League this weekend.
My mom sent me an article that said there was a bit of an outbreak, so I just wanted to, she goes to dog parks, so I just wanted to be safe. It's like your baby. You want to protect your dog.
Leptospirosis is typically found in a dog's urine and is easily spread throughout groups, so keeping your dog vaccinated means you're protecting other dogs too. Director of Volunteers and Special Events Whitney Steele says keeping your dog up to date on vaccines is a foolproof way to keep them healthy.
So if yours is well vaccinated, then they're safe, and it's kind of like a little protective bubble around them, and it just makes sure that your animal is going to live the best possible life they can.
And owner Margaret Birch wanted to get her dog vaccinated before it was too late.
Keep him healthy to prevent him from having to go to the vet and experience the disease.
Only 50 doses of the vaccination were offered this weekend, but within the next week, the AAWL will have more. In Phoenix, Drew Marine, Cronkite News.
If you didn't get a chance to get the shot this weekend, don't worry. The AAWL is getting more doses for next month. So if you want to get your furry friend vaccinated, you can make an appointment with your local animal shelter. The state got drenched with rain this weekend, but will we see more?
Chloe Ranshaw is in the Weather Center with your 7-day forecast.
That's right. Luckily, we are seeing those clouds beginning to clear, and they will continue to clear throughout tomorrow morning. As for your temperatures, it's been a pretty mild day. Across the valley, we see 52 degrees in Show Low, 58 degrees in Flagstaff, and 68 degrees in Lake Havasu. Taking a closer look, we see 61 degrees in Buckeye, 64 degrees in Glendale, and 62 degrees in Maricopa. As for tomorrow morning, temperatures will drop slightly, but not by much, as you're heading out the door at 7 a.m. As for the rest of your week, tomorrow will be clear. We'll see 76 degrees. It will heat up slightly on Wednesday as those clouds return and they trap in that heat. The rest of your week will be clear and cool. We see 66 degrees on Friday, 71 degrees on Saturday. That's it in the Weather Center. I'm Chloe Ranshaw.
In a world filled with texting and video games, getting children outside isn't always an easy task.
Coming up on Cronkite News, we take a look at how one program is getting children out of the house and giving them a chance to get their hands dirty.
Heaven knows you're a dreamer. Don't hide it from anyone. Don't hide it from anyone. Would you believe me if I said we are here for a reason now? This is our life. This is what counts. This is for us. I will go anywhere for you.
This weekend was a rainy one in Phoenix, but that didn't stop families from spending time outdoors. Reporter Kaylee Nassif went to a day camp where kids learn how to survive in nature.
Around 100 children and their families gathered at the Rio Salado Audubon Center on Saturday to learn about the great outdoors in the heart of Phoenix.
On a rainy day in downtown Phoenix, most people would be inside, but at the Arizona Elk Society's Wild in the City program, children and families were encouraged to embrace all that Mother Nature had to offer.
Our goal was we need to get young people involved in the outdoors. anything we could do to get them off of video games and get them out of the house, just so they can experience it.
Ken Tora, who's the youth program coordinator for the Arizona Elk Society, calls the curriculum STREAM, which stands for science, technology, recreation, engineering, arts, and math. Many of the volunteers are teachers and wildlife experts who want to encourage the kids to learn about nature.
We showed them the skulls of some of the birds. This is the skull of a great horned owl.
The big thing the Arizona Elk Society is trying to teach kids today is how to conserve nature, but also still have some fun.
Kids spent the day panning for gold and shooting arrows, but the clear favorite was dissecting owl pellets to find the bones of their prey.
A lot of them are usually really grossed out, but kids like the gross stuff sometimes. And actually we tend to see the girls dig into the owl pellets first and really get into it.
I digged in poop. I found a lot of skulls.
Families came from as far as Tucson and Lake Havasu with a chance to study wildlife and how to conserve the environment, even if that environment was a little wet.
To keep up with demand, the Arizona Elk Society is looking to expand their Wild in the City programs to 4 times a year, along with hosting a weekend summer camp for families. In Phoenix, Kaylee Nassif, Cronkite News.